I think if I hear you call me Becky one more time, six-pack, I'm gonna pop your tops. All six of them.
Who are you?
Hey, this is Matt once again. Welcome back to another review, and this is a PayPal request for Devin, and it's for a film called Night Fair from 2015. Now, for those interested in requesting any review, re-review, topic, reaction, pretty much any type of video, you can request it either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box. Night Fair is a film that I did not hate at the end of the day because pretty short film, went at a fast pace, for the most part was pretty simple. The ending could divide people easily. I thought the ending was one of the more interesting parts of the film, but my issue is I didn't really care about the two leads. It's not that I thought their acting was bad, but I thought the characters were written kind of meh. One was kind of a bland guy who he's an Englishman that's come back to Paris. He wants to get in touch with his girlfriend, but now it's his ex-girlfriend who's with his buddy. The lead guy doesn't like that. Obviously the Englishman doesn't like that. So him and his buddy talk it out. Englishman wants to leave. The buddy's like, come on, the night is young. I know I'm with your ex, but she's your ex. I'm with her now. Hey, I'll get you a cab. Let's go to another party. They get into a cab. One's an Englishman, his buddy's an asshole. The lead guy's kind of bland, mad, nothing to him. Guy's a dick. The asshole says, I'm not gonna pay this cab driver. Runs off. The lead's like, come on, yeah, pay him. And then throughout the rest of the film, this taxi driver who's pissed off that they didn't pay him starts chasing him throughout the night. And the film is a much lesser version of Judgment Night. A great underrated film with Emilio Estevez, Dennis Leary, Cuba Gooding Jr. Because that's a film that works, one of the reasons, because the actors, the characters work well. And yeah, the characters are not in depth on a Shakespearean level, but I could tell you the characters. Emilio Estevez, he's had a past where he was a rough-ass, badass motherfucker, but he wants to leave that behind. He's got a wife and a kid, and he wants to be calm, and yet some of his friends go, hey, you used to be different. You know, your old self, you would just punch that guy out, and guess you're more civilized, huh? Cuba Gooding Jr. is a guy who wants to shoot first, ask questions later, but then you realize he gets over his head. Jeremy Piven's character, he thinks he's this cool hotshot, but when he gets under pressure, he gets very scared, very easily scared. But at the same time, he does want to help his friends out, so he's not a total creep who will sell his friends out. But he still thinks he can buy himself out of trouble. See, I'm giving you a little bit of the characters in Judgment Night. That's one of the reasons why that works. Here, I can't tell you a fucking thing about these two other than One's a bland Englishman who loves this girl still. One's an asshole. And later on, there's a little bit of backstory of what happened between the two of them and something else. Now, we'll say it goes at a fast pace. It's less than 80 minutes long. Pretty decent cinematography. Pretty decent score. As one person who reviewed this mentioned, the cinematography is a little bit like Drive with Ryan Gosling, a little bit like the Maniac remake. It's not a bad looking movie, and the score is fine. The score is not too shabby either. It pretty much is these two going from point A to point B to point Z, and the taxi driver, which for the most part has his cap on. A lot of times you see him, he's in shadow. He's wearing this vest, like a specially designed vest, that if someone shoots like a taser gun, it bounces off or doesn't do anything. And I don't think the twist comes out of left field, because watching the film I started noticing certain things. I'm like, wait a minute, why did the killer do this? Why did he do that? There's something more to this. So I will say with the ending, again, some people got pissed off about it. To me, it's the most interesting part of the film, and that's why I think I would like to see an American remake of this. Like, if you got two actors, either two actors who really could show their personality, or the characters just written a lot better for the two leads. Either or both. And the taxi driver, I would have Dave Bautista play him. Does he even shadow the guy in the cap? The guy kind of looked like Bautista. It's not, but he kind of looked like Bautista when he's in shadow. At the end when you see him full, not really, but when he's in shadow, you see a little bit of his facial hair. I'm like, is that Dave Bautista? No, but... So I would do a remake with Bautista, and maybe a bigger budget. A little bit bigger budget to have a bit more action, a bit more oomph, maybe a bit more intensity. Although because of the end, it's a strength but a detriment. I'll get to that. But throughout the film, there's certain things that happen, like these cops, you tell they're dirty cops, they take their money, except one cop doesn't want the money, but the others take it. They go into his underground garage, and they're chased by this guard who has a dog, and the killer can't get further, and as he's leaving, the guard talks to him with his dog, but then because the dog doesn't cooperate, the guard starts beating his dog, and that's when the killer stops, does turns. Then the next time we see it, the guard's teeth's been fucking busted all to hell, and the killer is petting the dog. It's like, okay, well, what's going on here? Or later on, when those cops come back, he'll fuck up and shoot the other cops or taser one in the mouth, but the other one who didn't take the money, the guy leaves alone. Now when I say this, you may figure out what's going on. One, these two get to this gangster the asshole knows. I think the gangster's name is Detox. And the tide comes down, and the taxi driver just fucks him up, and he comes up, takes the guy's sword, goes up, and these people attack him. He starts slicing off legs and arms and throats, beats the fuck out of all of them. And at this point, I'm like, fuck, the silent killer is more interesting than the bland lead and the asshole buddy. And while this is not a rant, that's kind of my issue with the film, is that the killer, even though he has no dialogue, until a little bit at the end, he's more interesting just because of his presence and his look and what he's doing. He's more interesting than the two leads. I'm like, well, he did save a dog, and he didn't kill the cop who didn't take the money. He's more likable than the two leads. And they did fuck him over by not paying their fucking fee. Now, getting more into spoilers, starting now spoilers. What you come to find out is the two leads get into a little fight because of what happened in the past. what happened in the past is there was this homeless guy. The two leads were drunk. They were messing with him. They poured alcohol on him, and they accidentally set him on fire. And the guy died. So one wonders if we're being somehow punished because of that. Does the guy somehow know about that? Meanwhile, the lead guy, again, this is spoilers still, the lead guy's ex-girlfriend, the asshole's current girlfriend, she gets kidnapped. The lead is going to go after her. The asshole says, no, I'm not doing that. Look out for yourself. But ultimately, he does come back to help. And the two try to stop the big guy, but they're just getting their ass kicked. And the bad guy's like giving him clotheslines, throwing him around. And for, you know, the big guy seems almost invulnerable. Like they're hitting him with crowbars. Granted, on that vest, I'm like, what is this vest made of? Fucking titanium? Unobtainium? Like, what's this vest made out of that can not be bothered hit by a fucking crowbar or a piece of wood? Is it made by the same shit Captain America's shield's made out of? But he just throws them up, kicks their ass, dragging the girl on. The lead guy begs for him not to do it. He lets the girl go, and then he tells the asshole guy to get in the car. Does so and drives away. Leaves the lead guy and the girl there. Now the twist, which again will divide, I did say spoilers, divide people, is you're trying to find out that this silent killer is part of this secret society of vigilantes. And that's why he only attacked people. They either try to attack him, try to mug him, fuck up the guy who was beating up his dog, fucked up the dirty cops but not the more honest cop. And so he's taking the asshole guy to like, hey, you did some bad things, but you actually tried to do the right thing. You tried to come back and help your buddy save this girl. Maybe it's an act of you trying to repent your past sins like I did. Because then it shows that what happened to the guy with the cap, same thing that happens to this guy. At one point they were both in this jail cell naked, and then they're given this book to read, and then they train, they work out by themselves. And now it's like a passing of the torch, where after some time there's a mugging going on. The silent killer gives him his vest and his cap, walks away, and now the asshole buddy is the new vigilante with the same outfit. And that's what I mean. I thought that twist was interesting. Part of me wishes the movie was more about that. Was more about, like, maybe after 30 minutes that happens, and then maybe the rest of it. Or, again, if it's an interesting twist, and that's the strength of it, the detriment of it is because he's a vigilante, now you know why the movie could not go all out on action, chases, chase sequences like Judgment Night, because they had to maintain that this guy was a vigilante, not a straight up killer. And right, you know, to kill bad people, but you can't have him be too harsh on these two leads, because he's a vigilante, not just a serial killer. So that's what I mean. It's like, because of that, you have to hold back some. With Judgment Night, Dennis Leary and them will try to kill him no matter what. Don't whisper. Don't even breathe. And you didn't have to have that pair of handcuffs on you. That you can only go a certain limit with the chaos, with mayhem, with anarchy. So that's part of the detriment of it. So yeah, there's a part of me that goes, why not just have the simple, straightforward two guys chased by this unstoppable seeming killer after something as mild as not paying your taxi fare? that could lead to more intensity, more bloodshed, more mayhem. On the flip side, I like this twist, but it's like, okay, the movie itself is okay because it's well shot, it's decently fast paced, a little bit of mayhem, like when the killer gets the sword. And like I said, the ending's interesting, but I guess for some people, is that worth it? Is the bit of that ending worth the rest of the film? To me, I view it as it was a time waster. I would never see it again. Again, that ending is a bit fascinating, but on the flip side, I don't know if it really views much rewatchability, and it becomes a crutch. That's not even the right word I want to use. It becomes, like I said, a little bit of, you're tied down because of that interesting twist. You're tied down because you can't go all out Terminator style on that front. And that's the thing, is that it's not really that action packed when it comes to, you don't have like car chases and fist fights. Even when you get in a fight, the two guys just get their ass kicked, and the guy, no sweat, he's just flying them off left and right with no problems at all. So you don't get as much fun factor or intensity factor because of that. So this is sort of a catch-22. But I think maybe with a remake, I don't know, maybe more in the crime-infested areas and have more crazy people, like bad guys, drug dealers come out. And so this killer is killing these people, but on the flip side, they're drug dealers and bigger body count, maybe more than that. Maybe like a drug lab, so it's a car chase through a drug lab. So the vigilante is like, fuck it, it's a drug lab, I'll do whatever I want. Maybe there's more you could play with that aspect, maybe. Only by doing so, you'd have to have the possible fear of people figure out the twist before the ending. And maybe that's a chance you would have to take by doing that, but I don't know. With that said, I wish it had more of an oomph, action, spectacle, bloodshed. It doesn't because of either the budget or because of the points of the plot. The two leads I found rather boring. Whether, like I say, actors, they would give more personality to them or better writing, more to the characters, maybe that would work either. But overall, it was an okay time waster. Like I said, the cinematography, the score is decent, moved at a good pace, interesting ending. It's not the normal type of ending, so I appreciate that. So it is what it is. That's the best way I can word it. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.